Testing.
Might need to adjust the camera. Hey guys, I'm live. I'm gonna add Crystal on here as we get set up. Hello, Deborah. We are going live, and I'm gonna add Crystal here in a second. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Crystal. All right, go live with Crystal.
Okay, I think we're live everywhere. Hi! I'm going to try to share this to Facebook too, so we can just go live across all platforms. Let's make that happen. Here we go. Let's see.
Let me try to turn my volume down.
Oh yeah, me too. That way we don't end up with 1,000 echoes going on.
Yeah.
Your phone is doing things. Okay, let's see.
Can everybody hear me still? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me still. I'm gonna try to get taller.
Okay. We'll share on, okay, so I think we're sharing on Facebook in just a second on the page.
I love everybody coming in here on Instagram.
Hello.
Let me know if you can hear me. I've got my volume down. We're also live on Facebook, and we're doing a webinar. I can hear me on yours.
There we go.
Crystal.
Now, how is it now?
I'm not sure if everybody can hear us, but I think they can, so.
I think so.
Okay, great.
Hopefully. Let us know if you can hear us. Wave, say hi or something. Let's see.
Yes, we're getting started. We're getting the text. I can hear myself, Crystal. I can't.
How is it how do I get it turned down to where you can't hear
your volume? Can you turn your phone volume down?
Yeah, I did. I turned it all the way down, but it's still.
Okay, I'll just ignore it.
Can I get it? No, it won't go any lower. Okay, that's weird. Uh-oh.
Thanks for being patient, guys. We're still getting set up. We're trying to be on all the platforms for everyone.
I don't know how to.
It's fine. Did you go live on the webinar?
Here, how about that?
Did you go live on the webinar?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So we are live on Facebook. We are live here on the webinar. We've got a couple of people who are already joining. So if you're on the webinar platform on Zoom, feel free to say hello. Tell us about your business real quick so we know who you are. And that way you guys can leave any comments and questions and stuff you have while we're chatting. Okay, and I think we're also live on Facebook. Okay, there we go.
All right. So
we're everywhere.
Yes, I'm going to open up the chat on the webinar. If you're on the webinar, just go ahead and click over all panelists and attendees on the chat. We're going to try to go live on Facebook as well. Are we live on Facebook?
We are live on Facebook. We are live on the Facebook page.
All right, great. So let's just do a introduction, I guess. A little bit of introduction, I guess.com. And I'm here with Crystal.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm the I'm like so distracted at the moment. I'm the content director and commercial photographer for Crystal Clear Creative Studios.
So we've wanted to come and do this live so that we can talk about how to pivot your business over the next 30 to 90 days. We'll be giving you 5 things you can do in your business to pivot instead of pause, and why this matters today, so that we can continue doing our business, and so that we can continue to serve people, but also do it in a different way. So I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to add there.
Sorry, I am distracted because I'm like trying to get everybody set up on both sides.
It's
trying to
hard.
answer. Yes, I am. But no, yeah, I think it'll be great. We'll get an opportunity to talk about, just some of the things too, story-wise, that we've seen and the things that people are doing in their businesses to make that pivot and that change. And I think that's might help you open up ideas to figure out what you could do for yourself in your business right now, because a lot of us are in uncharted territories, but a lot of people are already starting to pivot their businesses and coming up with a lot of great ideas and figuring out ways that they can still be able to serve and be able to make money to be able to pay their bills and everything as well. So I think it's just kind of opening up that conversation today and going through the 5 things that we feel like you could do and start getting on that track to pivot your business and feel a little bit more comfortable with what's going on in our current climate right now.
Right. Yeah. And if you are joining us and if you think this is relevant to your friends, to your family, be sure to share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, get people in here asking questions. We're going to be taking your questions afterwards and trying to help a bit because we have a lot to talk about. But I think maybe we should just sort of get started on the 5 things that you can do in your business during this time. What do you think, Crystal?
Absolutely. I think we should. Let's dive right in. I think the first one is communicate transparently. I think that, we're used to being in a position where people want to just show kind of the highlight reels of what's going on. But right now, we get an opportunity to be vulnerable and communicate with our audience and with our customers and clients that we're working with, and let people know what's going on and talk about the impact and what they can expect from you. So I didn't really send out an email about news and things that people already knew, but I did let them know, like, hey, here's what I can do. I can still help certain product businesses that can ship items to me, because that's still something that's happening right now. And, here's how you can, serve those people better. So I think it's just feeling like you can say, like, hey, you know what, this is kind of a weird situation right now. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I could do. And just starting that communication, but being very transparent about where you are and what they can expect. Like, maybe they expect delays in communication from you because you've got kids at home. I've got a 3-year-old and about to be a 6-year-old, and they are higher energy. They need to be entertained all the time. So it's about being able to tell people, like, hey, you know what, there's going to be a little bit of delay in communication. I'm still working on projects and things for you, but I've also got to focus on my kids who are here and need to be entertained and educated as well. So Kayla, what do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. You have to definitely talk with your clients and tell them about the impact. But, when it comes to communicating openly with your clients and your customers, you also want to be asking them how they've been impacted and what their financial situation looks like. Of course, their productivity and their process is going to change. Of course, they're going to need additional support, but really reaching out and sharing how you are impacted, but also encouraging them to share with you how they're impacted personally, and really try to listen and be of service in that instance. I really appreciated some people that I work with, some contractors that I work with, and freelancers that I work with, reaching out to me saying, hey, how can I support you during this time? It's happened. And honestly, during this time, my particular business model is almost not impacted at all. I have a membership, and I've diversified my income and my passive income. And so in order to make money day to day, I'm not actually that impacted. However, I recognize that other people in our industry, as well as outside of our industry, are very impacted. So the fact that someone took the time to reach out to me and ask how they could serve me really felt personal, and also was just openly communicating and offering me a platform to be transparent with them, and then vice versa. So definitely choose to do that and just be raw and real and authentic, and do those personal sort of reach outs, right?
Absolutely. And I was trying to fix the echo because I know a couple people said it was echoing back and forth. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Perfect. So I think that the next thing to kind of dive straight into is the second one, which is, pivot, don't pause. And I feel like you and I really loved that word. I love that word because that's kind of what we're doing at the moment, is learning to pivot our businesses. It's not about abandoning what you've spent so much time building, so much as it's how can you pivot and change what's going on and what you have to offer to still be able to do what you need to do and serve other people who are out there. And I know that we've got a couple of great examples of that, but one of the things that you can start doing to pivot your business is start creating content that you can give people for free. So if you're not already doing that and your business could, offer tips and advice, get out there and start creating that content on YouTube. Start podcasting. If you've been wanting to do a podcast, start the podcast, get it going, have conversations. Feel free to talk about the things that are valuable to you or the advice that you can offer the customers and people that you're working with, and just start opening up that dialogue. And then also you can go through and start doing the blog posts, and of course, IGTV. IGTV is growing rapidly, and that has taken off and has even now become its own app. So you can start getting on IGTV and talking to people, showing them your process, talking to them more about the things that are going on in your life, sharing things with your kids right now. Everyone's sharing what they're doing and how they're adapting. So there's lots of things that you can do to start creating more content that you can still serve and still connect, and still maintain that relationship and everything with your business.
Yeah, because one of the things that there really is a big echo.
I don't know how to stop the echo. Like, I muted my volume here on the computer.
It's Instagram. Maybe we should hop off of Instagram. Everybody go, which page are we live on?
We are live on the Ivory Mix page.
So everybody go to
facebook.com/the Ivory Mix if you're on Instagram, and we're going to end the live on Instagram, and you can head over there just to reduce the echo.
There we go.
Okay. How's that? Much better.
Okay, now we can hear you there. I think that's a little better. Hopefully everybody can hear us. Feel free to say hello over in the chat. We are happy to have you also drop any questions or anything there that you'd like to say or have us answer. And let's see here.
This is what happens when you go live.
I know. Sort out all the things.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of an echo. So I just want to talk about the pivot, don't pause. We will get into some specific steps that you can take in order to pivot. But, when it comes to starting to pivot, don't stop creating content, because especially over the next few weeks, especially over the next few months, however long this lasts across the world, we are going to be consuming so much more content. So just like Crystal said, if you've been wanting to create a podcast, if you've been wanting to start a YouTube channel, whatever piece of content that you've wanted to start, or whatever piece of content already works for your business, double down. Start creating more of that content, because people are going to be more available, and especially consuming more of what you're doing, especially if you start to show up in a new and more interesting way. So definitely take this opportunity to, instead of pause things that you're doing, double down on the things that work, and double down on the things that you've wanted to start in your business. And that includes, taking new product ideas live quickly. We decided to do this live, like within a 24-hour period. We had all the information ready to go live, and we just put it out there. So if you have an idea, do what you can to do it imperfectly and to do it quickly. Double down on your audience, double down on your clients, and really try to host sort of group events online, virtual. You can use Zoom, you can use YouTube live streaming. If you, I think you need a certain number of followers for that. You can use Instagram Live. You can do lots of things to encourage group interaction among your past clients, existing followings, but getting people active in those communities is really going to create a space for everyone. Whether you've had a physical in-person brick and mortar type business, or like a coaching in-person type thing, or some kind of a service that you've done in person, you can certainly take those things online, because people are really going to be looking for those connections. and grow your email list. If you've suddenly realized that I've been operating my business a certain way and it would be great if I had an email list now, but unfortunately I'm seeing my clients less and I'm connecting with people less in person, and I don't know how to engage people online, you're probably noticing that it would be a great time to have an email list. Now's the time to start creating those freebies and the content that you need to grow your email list. You know, is there anything you wanted to add to that before we move on to the next? But that was the second tip. Remember, we said we have 5 tips for you. The first one was communicate transparently, and the second one was pivot, don't pause. And before we move on to the third one, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add to that, Crystal.
No, I like the idea of, I say no, yes, I do. I say I like the idea of hosting like different challenges and stuff. There are some people whose businesses right now are not being affected nearly as much as others. So it's about being able to band together and support some of those people. So maybe you could do a challenge, or maybe you could even do a giveaway. I saw someone the other day doing a giveaway where they could partner with a couple of other businesses who are slowing down a little bit because some of their products, are things that they generally, market just on social media, or they go to physical marketplaces within their city, and they're partnering together to do a giveaway to boost up the sales and to kind of help them get things going online for their business as well. So if you're in a position where you're like, you know what, things are doing okay, they're not bad, and you see someone else is struggling, maybe you guys could band together, get that additional exposure, provide some value to someone, make someone's day better, and start helping them get their business out there as well. And just help the other people around you. So that was something that kind of came to mind this morning, and I was like, oh, you know what, people should do a couple more things like that to get that exposure and to get out there. Or if you're in the reverse position and you're the person who is struggling, reach out to someone and say, hey, you know what, I'd like to try to see if maybe I could do a giveaway or something. Would you be interested in partnering with me so that I can try to get my products out there and get my business going? Because I've always been a little more offline versus online, and start doing that. So, and that's an easy way to be able to get out there and get that cross exposure to build up your business some online.
Yeah, I love those ideas. Definitely. And these are ideas that have been around for, years and years,
Mm-hmm.
but they become more important in sort of the climate that we're in today. So definitely um, collaborate. Collaboration is still possible.
Yep.
Clearly, we're doing it, so it's definitely possible. So the third thing that you want to do in order to pivot your business is optimize and use this time to work on your business instead of in your business. And so what that means, and you've probably heard that before, is it means working on the things that grow your business, not the things that keep your business running day to day. So you might be finding that you have more time on your hands, or you might be finding that clients aren't coming to you as frequently or needing your services as frequently. So you've got some more time on your hands. So use this time to work on the things that grow. Optimize the things that have been working. Over the last few months of 2020, did you launch something new and you noticed that, hey, it got a lot of traction? Is there something that you could be doing to grow that and stop other things, or are there obviously new ideas that you're coming up with? But optimize what works, simplify some of your current methods, simplify your business. If you've got sales funnels that have worked in the past and you want to, rearrange or change them up a bit to optimize them and make them run more smoothly, of course, use this time to do that. And then pare down to the essentials. If you are finding that you're bringing in less money or struggling with clients, really pare down to what it is that's going to keep your business running, but also, what's your minimum viable product or service? What is the minimum that you need in order to survive, right? But also, what's the minimum you need in order to thrive as a business? So what can you do to serve your community? You don't need to add 100 different offerings. What's the minimum that you can do to serve your existing clients, your existing customers, that pares everything down to the very essential in your business, but also delivers massive value in this situation that we're in? And we don't know where we're going to be in the next 30, 60, 90 days, or maybe even the next 12 months. So really keeping it down to the essential things that keep your business running and optimizing those things is really going to help you. And since you possibly have a little more time on your hands, now's a good time to do that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think it, when it comes to working on your business too, some people might be going, well, what if my business is in a position where nothing that I'm doing right now is something that I can work with? Like, I know a lot of my photographer friends are in that boat, where, they're used to their business being a service that they're providing, face to face to people on a consistent basis in order for them to make money. And I heard just this morning of a client of mine, that I'm actually going to share to my Instagram after this. She pivoted her business and being able to find something that she can do that was very linear to what she's already doing. So in her case, she does a lot of vintage clothing, and she has a seamstress background, and she can sew and put things together and fix clothing items whenever they're torn apart. And I'll apologize if you hear my children, because I am working from home. So, right. So current status. I did warn you guys, I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. But anyway, the client that I have, she generally does a lot of vintage clothing and stuff. And so she found a way to be able to pivot, to be able to still be able to make money by making masks out of the extra fabrics and things like that, or other fabrics that she has around that's extra, so that she can help the healthcare industry. Because right now the healthcare industry is having a lot of problems with finding disposable masks that are usually available because of everything that's going on. So she is making custom fabric mated masks for them to be able to wear, and they have offered to pay her for these things. So she's got a new relationship that she's been able to develop with this local healthcare office, and she's making these masks and things for them. So it's serving her business while also serving the community. Even though it's not exactly what she's been doing, she's taken a skill and she's transformed that. So, as you're going through and you're looking at ways to work on your business and you're feeling like, I don't know what to work on, stop and take a second to evaluate what skills that you have and what you can do, and get creative with it, and start reaching out to people and seeing how you can help and asking.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. And it kind of leads us into the next thing that you could be doing, which is just being more mindful of your business, of your family, of yourself, of the vendors that you work with, and really think of new ways that you could work with other people that you may have worked with in the past, or other skills that you have. And I like those examples. But it kind of, our fourth thing that you could be doing right now is being mindful. And so, like, I really like that your kids are screaming right now, because it's just what it's just what life is right now. It's just what it is. And so we have to be we have to set boundaries around what we're willing to do right now, and what we are able to do right now, and also explain to other people in our house as best as we can. If you're on lockdown like I am, hey, I have to close the door in order to do something to serve my clients today, and then have like a stopping point and a starting point, just like you would a normal work day. But listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your energy. It can be very challenging, especially with kids staying home. All the schools are closed in my entire state. Our entire state is on lockdown. So, I have to be mindful of how my kids are doing, because this has got to be weird, right? This has got to be extremely strange. Just to be frank, one of my kids was supposed to go on a field trip yesterday. She was looking forward to it for a very long time. And, it's very unfortunate when you have to break it to her that you're probably not going to see your friends for a while. And so anyways, these are just things that we have to be mindful of. And so set boundaries, work on your mindset, use your energy, be mindful, and use your energy when you feel most energetic, and sign off when you got to sign off, right?
Yep.
I don't know, is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Crystal?
Well, with my screaming children in the background, you guys know, you guys know that I'm in the thick of it at the moment. But I think also partnering with your spouse and having that open communication of, hey, you know, I'd like to try to keep things going with my business. And me and my husband traded off the other day because I still had a product shoot that I was able to do, and I needed to go into the studio and get that done. And so, you know, he kind of stepped in and helped with the kids and was able to leave a little early so that he could do that, so that I could go do my photo shoot and stuff. So I think at this point, you know, we're all just trying to figure out ways to get things going, open up communication. I know with my kids are super confused too. My 5-year-old is like, so am I going back to school tomorrow? She's like, what do I do with myself? And I'm like, you know, we're going to practice on some things together, but you've got an extended vacation to hang out with mom. So let's figure out how this is going to work. And it's a little easier when your kids are older and you can kind of reason with them a little bit, I think. Whereas when, you know, my 3-year-old, who was the one kind of screaming and running around back there, it's a little harder to control that. And I warn everybody, I'm like, hey, you know what? This is where we're at right now. I've got a 3-year-old. As you know, 3-year-olds are crawling on your head. They're jumping around, they're screaming, they're running. They sporadically pop in and say hi. You know, there's just all these things that are happening right now. So I think just figuring out how to give yourself the grace to just adapt with what's going on and understand that other people are definitely understanding right now because they're all in that same position. And for me, I know it's kind of also learning to let go of some of the usual control that we're having in our lives. Because I know that I like to have my house tidied up. And you know what? I just, during the day, have learned that between, you know, like 8 and 7 o'clock before they go to bed, that the house is going to be a little messy, that I'm not going to run around and keep constantly trying to drive myself crazy with cleaning things up. I'm going to focus on getting some work and stuff done because that's where I'm at right now. So I've kind of shifted my schedule to be more mindful of what's working for my family and my business and also for my own self.
Right. Yeah. That's all we can do is do the best we can. So, which brings us to number 5, which is the most actionable thing, and the most actionable thing that you could be doing that we're going to talk about today. So if you've been making notes or just like, you know, sitting there watching, now's the time to make notes because we're going to really go into number 5, which is a multi-point process for how to create a plan for the next 30, 60, or 90 days. So in order to create some kind of a plan for you and your business, you really have to consider what might be changing over the next 3 months. You probably don't know. You probably have zero clue because we're all kind of up in the air right now. You've got maybe, you know, statewide mandated, like, don't get out of your house things like I have, or things might be a little bit different. Yeah. But if you have clients like me, or if you have a community like me, what might the next 3 months look like for them? And plan ahead. So there's going to be some short-term and long-term impacts. And I kind of wanted to talk briefly about the recession in 2007, 2008, which I personally worked through. I worked in the housing industry, which was heavily impacted. And some of the short-term impacts were the house prices dropped. Okay, so people stopped buying houses, stopped looking for houses, stopped selling houses. Because they were upside down and houses went into foreclosure and it was just a big mess, right? And it was a long-term impact, but what some people saw was an opportunity, which was long-term, let me start flipping houses. Let me turn this bad situation into a good situation. I have some extra money right now. I'm going to invest in something and turn it into something that will make me money. Now, this doesn't necessarily speak to every industry. Obviously, if you run an online business like I do, that doesn't really relate, but it gets your mind thinking of what new opportunities might be there over the next 3 months, even 6 months to a year. What are the things that people are not doing anymore? But what are they going to do? And one of those things is creating content and consuming content, right? Mm-hmm. People are going to be at home, have more hands on their, or more time on their hands, watching Netflix, watching Hulu, watching YouTube, scrolling Instagram, which is perfect for running an online business and starting a business you know, if you're just pivoting from an existing sort of in-person business to an strictly online business. So consider some of the things that might be changing in your industry over the next 3 months and for your actual clients, and start to create short-term 30, 60, and 90-day goals. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Crystal?
I was just going to say, I could throw out another example of someone or people who are taking advantage of the situation, because I do think that that example with the housing market does help some of us who have online businesses too. But I was noticing a huge trend all of a sudden out of nowhere the last couple of days, that the fitness coaches are shoving free things online because they're like, oh my God, the gyms and things are closing down. Yeah. People need ways to stay active. They need things to do so that they're not just sitting around the house all the time. And so they're coming out with, you know, online programs, and they're immediately giving people things for free. They're going live on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that and doing workouts at that moment themselves and recording it so that you can get on and do the same thing. And so they're a great example of how you're just taking your business and just pivoting it towards what can you do online now? What can you offer people, and how much content can you give them? Because that's what they want to consume and do right now. And that's the best way to stay connected.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're watching this and you're trying to create a plan for yourself, consider creating what you would create as far as an offer, what you would launch, and what you need from that in order to continue with your business. Instead of pausing, what pivot do you need to make, and how many sales, clients, what's the income, what's the revenue that you need to bring in from that pivot? What's the minimum that you need to do in order to serve your clients, but also what's the minimum that you need to make? So start setting goals around those types of things so that you can show up every day very focused on those specific things. So an example, you know, that we were talking about earlier, if you haven't started growing your email list, maybe growing your email list is the next goal. Maybe growing a following, showing up online, creating live free content is the next thing, right? Like Crystal was saying. So, you know, maybe create a goal for the next 30 days to launch new freebies, not launch new content, and increase my Instagram following. And by the next 30, 60, 90 days, have 500 new leads on my email list so that I can launch a new offer. Or maybe over the next 15 days, get 100 leads on my email list so that I can launch a new offer, or revive or, you know, pivot an existing offer. So create those short-term goals and make them specific like you would any other time, right? But you have to use what we've talked about before. Instead of business as usual, perhaps your clients need something else. So how can you pivot, and what's the minimum that you need to do for them, and what does that look like? You know, what financial impact have they seen? What productive impact have they seen? What process impact are they experiencing pain with, or what support do they need? So create some kind of an offer, some kind of a thing. And one of the things that I did want to mention is that now isn't the time to stop selling. You know, I think a lot of people are like, oh, maybe I shouldn't sell right now because everybody is so, you know, inundated with this new, you know, environment that we're in, that they have their own problems. And that is true. You know, everybody's experiencing something slightly different, but business hasn't stopped. People are still making money and exchanging money across the world. But in order to buy things, they need things, right? They need, in order to, let me rephrase that. And they need things. So they go and look for something. So if the need is there, they will buy it. It's your job as a business owner and an entrepreneur to figure out what your community needs. So that's all we're saying. Figure out what they need financially, with their process, whatever that is, or support wise. And when I say financially, I don't mean like a discount on something. No, I mean like, how do I save money right now? You know, how do I make money right now? How do I use my money wisely right now? Those kinds of financial things. Do you offer support in any of those areas? How do I I can't go to my gym right now. So what's the cheapest, most cost-effective way to get a workout in, you know? So those are the kinds of things that I mean there. Anyways. So
well,
yeah.
also like getting a chance to, I feel like now's a good time to factor into your goals, being able to do more marketing and stuff in general. Like a lot of us have different marketing objectives. And when we did our Creative Boss Method workshops, you know, we went through, you know, things like, you know, building up Pinterest, building up Instagram, doing all these things. And I had so many people go, oh my God, this is so great. There are so many different areas that I want to expand and do these things in. And so now it's like you have that extra time or ability to focus on one particular offer that you can get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Pinterest is the thing, because maybe you are selling a lot of your, you know, scrubs and stuff like that, because people still need body products and you can still ship those things and they still want them. So you can get on Pinterest now and start creating those graphics and pushing that out there and letting them know that maybe you're going to send additional free sample with their purchase, or, you know, anything like that that you can do, and start ramping up that marketing. So maybe it's just even a marketing goal that you're, you know, been sitting on for a little while and you haven't had a chance to put the effort and time into, and now you can.
Yeah, exactly. So figure out the little things that you've been wanting to launch and start doing it, start creating that content. But long term, right? We don't really know like what the long-term impact of all of this is, but you should consider what long-term things, what long-term goals that would help you diversify your income. Because if you are showing up today to this workshop, to this live, because you are impacted in your business, I mean, there are lots of people impacted, let's be honest. But if you are worried about where your next paycheck is going to come from, or you know, where your next client's going to come from, now might be the time to think about how you're going to diversify in the future. So what kind of investments, what kind of assets can you start working on, or can you start planning for your future? Does that mean creating more digital products, more online courses, starting a membership, doing more collaborations, doubling down on sponsored content and ads in the future, increasing your online coaching or high-end services, maybe personal investments like, you know, investing in stocks. I mean, that's a sore subject right now, but you know, diversified income, and especially passive income that you can make without you needing to be there, okay, is where things should be heading for a lot of people, especially if you're showing up today without a plan of action. So having a diversified income is your insurance plan, because when one thing doesn't work, another thing might still be working. And that's kind of the message that I'm really hoping people get today, is that there is light at the end of the tunnel. All of this is very temporary. We don't know what things look like at the end. Your clients are somewhere online consuming content. It's your job to create that content and whatever that offer looks like for them in order to solve a problem or help them out. So get creative, do what you need to do now, but also think about those long-term plans, like how you're going to not be in this situation today when or if it ever happens again. And, you know, news has been out there saying like 6 months down the line, we could see another like spike in outbreaks. Like things might, the curve might flatten out right now, but 6 months down the line, it might start to come back around winter time. So now's the time to really plan for these things and get your business and your process and your diversified income going. Is there anything you want to add to that, Crystal?
No, I think that was great. I think that is the key. I think that a lot of us who have been in the service-based side of the business, I was in that position for the longest time, and, you know, started really, you know, beginning of last year, beginning of 2019, I really started diversifying myself. And I got over the fact that I was like, oh, I don't want to make a course. I don't think people are going to be as interested in that because there are thousands of courses out there. Like, and it's a lot of work. And is that really going to work for me right now? Because I could just be doing photo shoots and making money. And now I'm like, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that because I have other things in my business that I'm able to focus on and hone in on, because right now photo shoots are going to slow down. And that's just the reality of it. So I'm glad that I have other things that I have been working on and building and other ways to be able to still serve my audience and have diversified my business. So if you're in that position, you're like, man, I wish I had started on these things. Don't wish, start now. Like, yeah, you could have started a year ago. That's great. You know, we can't fix that, but you can fix it now, and you can start to do that and start looking at different avenues that you can put out there. And there are tons of resources around that we even have on hand for you too, that you can reach into right now and digest that and take advantage of those resources and start building up that diversification in your business.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly. Because as soon as something happens, you know, if you're, God forbid your website goes down, been there, been there, mine's done that in the past like week or whatever. What's the plan? You know what I mean? Like, what's the plan when something catastrophic happens? You know, what's the plan if you get sick? What's the plan if, you know, this happens again? Like, you gotta have those insurance plans. If you have a funnel that you could turn on and make it evergreen so that you can go and, you know, deal with things that are important in your family, in your personal life, those are the things that really should have your focus right now, especially if you have more time, because that's working on your insurance plan.
Yep.
You know. And so, yeah, I absolutely love that. So let's talk about how people get started doing this. So figure out what systems, offers, you know, what new schedule you need and what you need to restructure in your business. And then set those short-term goals and keep working on those long-term goals. So we've already talked about short-term goals, what simple, you know, pivot changes you could be making, and then how does that impact your long-term goals, right? And then start creating your timeline and your tasks. Start writing down, okay, what do I need to do? And really do the minimum, right? We don't want to create this big elaborate sales funnel. We don't want to create these super long sales pages. We don't, you know, get
Really
to the, yeah, we just simplify as simple as possible to get things out. If you want to launch something new, if you need to pivot something in your business, just do the minimum that you can to just do that pivot. So, you know, map out all your timelines and your tasks, and then continue the conversation and continue being transparent and open with your audience, asking them about their pains, their needs, their struggles, having real conversations, asking them how you can support them. If you notice that they're struggling with something, reach out to them and say, look, I have a solution for that, or let me try to help you with that, or hey, tell me a bit more about this. If you're, you know, if you notice people are starting these kinds of conversations, be a listener. Listen to what they are showing up online talking about. And then start marketing your pivot offers or your existing products, and just keep creating content. People are going to be consuming content, so it's your job to start creating it and start growing your email lists and showing up. Do what you can to keep marketing and keep your business open, right? And then double down and quickly launch, which we've already talked about, but be, you know, as authentic as possible. I really like to say presence over perfection. So showing up imperfectly, right? Be present, do that instead of being perfect. You know, typos are okay. Echoes on your live videos are okay. People are still here, right? People are still showing up. So do what you can imperfectly. And as long as you continue showing up every day and continuing to pivot and listen, things are going to be fine. Is there anything that you can think of that I didn't touch on there?
I think that's pretty much it. I do want to drive home for some of us who are perfectionists, because that's a lot of us, about the not getting stuck on it being perfect. I am notorious for that. And it's about pushing forward and simplifying it. And so what I do as a tip, if you feel like you've got an idea, but you feel like you're starting to overcomplicate it, is to overcomplicate it for a second. Write it all down. Just get it onto your brain on a piece of paper. Be like, I want to do this. I want to have this and this, this and this and this. Write it all out, overcomplicate it, and then stop and say, okay, what is actually important out of this? Okay, we're going to do, this part. We're going to do this part, and we're going to do this part. And we're just going to get that going. We're going to do the live. Yeah. We're going to, reach some people. We're going to give them something, free that they can use and start helping them and benefiting them. And then later you can develop, emails and other things that you want to do. So just take it and sometimes overcomplicate it for a second and feel like you've got a chance to make it perfect, and then step back and then ask yourself, do I really need all of these extra things? Do people really care about those things as much as I do? They just want to see your face. They just want to see and feel options. They want connection right now. So just show up, don't overcomplicate it, let it be imperfect, and it's going to be okay, because a lot of people are putting things out there that they feel like are imperfect to them, and in actuality to everybody else it is perfect. It is exactly what they need.
All it needs to be is helpful. That's it. Yep. All it needs to do is help people get from one situation to the other side of that situation, whatever transformation they want to make, how little or how big, as long as it's helping them do that thing, that's all that's important. Which, if we want to talk about free stuff, of course, this live is completely free. We're going to put the recording out for everyone to reconsume, rewatch. But along with this recording, we've got a workbook for you to download. So if you go to creativebossmethod.com/plan, you can download the Pivot to Offer plan. It's a workbook that walks you through everything that generally all the things that we've talked about in creating a plan for you to take action. And it gives you a space to start working on your Pivot to Offer plan. So it's going to help you take some of the pain points that you think your audience might be going through and how you can be the expert and service provider to them and what that looks like. So go to creativebossmethod.com/plan to grab that free workbook. And then on top of that workbook, we decided that it would be super helpful to reopen our Creative Boss Method workshops, but not just our workshops, because our workshops were closed around like December or January. Yeah. We stopped offering the workshops to allow our students to continue and work on them, so that we could work on other areas of our business. But these workshops are super actionable. So what we've done is we've paired the workshops with 200 templates that you can take and start creating content like right away. So the workshops walk you through how to brand your business, how to get active on Pinterest, on Instagram. It talks about all the things that you need to get started and to, revive your business. Or if you're just getting started online, right? But the workshops are super helpful. They come with workbooks on top of it, so they have an action plan. But then on top of it, you get 200 templates that you can just plug and play. So you insert your relevant topics, and then you can immediately and quickly get live on Pinterest and on Instagram, or you can create a presentation, or you can create an ebook. There's an ebook template in there. So if you go to creativebossmethod.com/plan, you can get the free workbook, but you can also get our workshops and our templates. So on there's a few different buttons you can click through. These will be available for a week or so. And then we thought, okay, this is really great, right, Crystal? Like we thought, okay, this is really great. We're going to be really helping people and getting people to quickly take action and pivot in their business. But we really want to offer more one-on-one stuff and feedback and action plans for those of you who are like really ready to take action, but want a little more feedback or personal input. And so what we've gone ahead and done is we've created a custom action plan for your business, but we only have 15 spots available. So what that means is you're going to tell us everything about your business, the pain, the struggle, the things that you're experiencing or what you're thinking about right now, and tell us all about your business. And then we're going to take all that information and develop a very customized plan for you to pivot. So some of the things and examples that we've come up with today, we're going to actually take your business and do that on paper, give you an action plan and customize it for your specific business. And we only have 15 spots available for that because we're going to do it in the next week. And there's only so many hours in the day. And because we are doing a very custom look at your business, we only have that many spots. So that button's also on creativebossmethod.com/plan. You can get there as well. It comes with an intimate communication channel. I don't know if you've heard of Slack, but it's basically like a texting app that you can text us directly with your questions. Of course, we're going to give you your action plan too, but you'll have one-on-one support. And of course, you're going to be in there with your other 15 business owners, and Crystal and I will be there to offer you individual support. Also on March 30th, right?
Yep. Yeah,
on
March 30th, Monday.
On March 30th, for these 15 businesses that do decide to get the personalized, customized plan from us, we're going to do a group coaching call. So it's going to be a very intimate group coaching call where we talk about specific things that we've given you action plans on, but also offer an opportunity for you to talk at us as well, so that we can just have an open dialogue. So we're offering that to 15 people. And it comes with the Creative Boss Method Pivot Kit that I was talking about, which is all the workshops and all the templates. So it comes with all of that too. And yeah, so I don't know, is there anything that I left off there?
I don't think so. I think that's it. I mean, we were trying to figure out the best way that we could serve tons of different businesses. So it doesn't really matter what kind of business you have right now. We wanted to serve everybody in the most impactful way possible and give you this one-on-one access, or I guess two-on-one access kind of thing.
Yeah, two-on-one.
That we're doing. And yeah, if you haven't heard of Slack, there's a desktop app for it too. So you can download it on your phone or on your desktop. And that way, when you are sitting down, you're going through that action plan, you have the opportunity to ask those questions, to get in there and talk to people and get that feedback. So it's kind of like getting this like high-level mastermind kind of thing condensed into, a small section to just really help you extremely quickly launch your business or get things online or get this product off, off the shelves and onto online so it can get to your people that you have in your audience, or maybe it's building your audience and all those things. So we will go through that and we'll do it for you. I mean, we're going to literally help you get there, because sometimes that's just half the battle, is trying to get out of your own mind and figure out what to do next. And sometimes getting the input of people who are business owners to help you do that is where you get the light bulb that comes on. You're like, oh, I didn't even think about, offering that. I didn't think people would want that kind of thing, or, whatever the case may be, because I know I always like to brainstorm with friends and other business owners and people that are around me as well. So we just wanted to give you that opportunity to have us help you do that and help you set up that plan so that you do feel like you have some foundation and it doesn't feel like you're grasping at straws trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, so definitely take advantage of all the things that we put on creativebossmethod.com/plan. You've got the free Pivot to Offer workbook. And then, of course, we've opened up the workshops, and then we have those 15 spots available for the custom action plan. But we're only going to be taking 15 people until Monday, or through Monday, because that's really like the starting point for us when we're going to start reviewing individual businesses and giving specific customized actions for them to sort of pivot in their business. So
I dropped the link over in the chat for everybody too.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. I will make sure.
So I think that's it for us today. We're gonna be putting this live on, or this replay up again. And so if you have questions, you can email me at kaylamarie@ivorymix.com. And yeah, I'll be helping anybody who has any questions about this that we've talked about today. I think that's it. Anything?
Yeah, I'm just dropping our emails over here real quick in the chat just in case you want to grab that. Mine is kind of long, but essentially it's crystal@crystalclearcreativestudios.com. So feel free to email either one of us, and then we will make sure I put the link over there as well so that you can go and take a look at everything, grab the free tool, find out how we can help you. I know Kayla and I both kind of live on Instagram most of the time. So if you're over on Instagram and you want to DM us because questions come up after you get a chance to kind of process things and chatting with us today, let us know. We're there and available to you, and do truly want to be able to help you in your business and answer anything we can.
Yeah. All right.
Right. Wow.
All right.
There you go.
we'll talk to you guys soon, and stay safe and wash your hands.